exercise
Yeah.
is a good way to strengthen bones. How about protein?
Protein is important,
Mm-hmm.
not just for its ability to help you strengthen your tissues variously, be those skeletal tissues or various organ tissues, muscle, whatever else. In the absence of taking in any significant amount of carbohydrate in your diet, which is what you should do, you should not consume carbohydrates. None, ever, actually. It is important on a daily basis to get a bolus of protein into you in one meal, in one hit, that is sufficient to kick your insulin system into action and cause, think of it as a bump, not like a spike that you get from eating carbs, because that's bad, a bump. That bump, what it does, among other things, is it causes your kidney tissue to remain viable and to retain its ability to filter electrolytes in and out of your blood and maintain your electrolyte balance. If you intake insufficient protein and or you don't have one decent hit of protein in a day, one meal of protein that's big enough to get that bump happening, what will start to happen is your kidneys will become leaky and you'll start to lose all your electrolytes. And then you'll end up with palpitations, muscle cramps, all sorts of problems. And then what you'll do, quite sensibly, is you'll tune, not sensibly, I'm being sarcastic, is you'll tune into certain other people's channels that tell you that pouring honey and sugar down your necks every day is a good idea.
Well, as a type 1 diabetic for 44 years, or 45, in fact, I know what honey does. I use honey to treat a hypoglycemic event. I used to. I don't anymore. I just use glucose tabs, but I used to use honey. So it's very, in fact, even piece of fruit can do the job just as well. So yeah, I love it that you mentioned the bumps and, so you get a bump with a protein. I get, as a type 1, in fact, other diabetics might relate to it too, like type 2 diabetics. So we get a little bump, but not a massive spike, little bump after a protein-rich meal in our blood sugar. So anyone wearing a CGM like I do will notice that. But that's normal, right? That's part of our body building itself, building muscle, right?
It's not only normal, it's absolutely vital that it does occur at least once a day. Otherwise, you will end up with electrolyte problems and you'll end up with thyroid problems as well. This whole idea that you should be in ketosis all the time, and the deepest the ketosis, the better. And, oh, I better go on Facebook and ask, oh, will this kick me out of ketosis? To which I always answer that question with, I hope so, because it's meant to. The goal of a ketogenic diet is not to be in ketosis. Ketones are not the goal. I wish they'd rename the diet. I mean, it's called the ketogenic diet because one of the ramifications is that ketones are present at various times. It's not the goal. It's not why you're doing it. And people that say that it is, oh, and maybe we should go and buy some exogenous ketones to take. Are you stoned? What? No. Anyway, that's for another day before I get off on that one. But yeah.